YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and I actually have good news. I, for the first time, won me something and didn't have to pay for it. I won the knife giveaway on Tom Chipman Bushcraft channel and knife making. And I won that bad boy, and I thought that was pretty cool that I won that. So, thank you, Tom. Is it here yet? Anyway, I wanted to show something today. And also, I also ought to thank my subscribers. And I don't do that enough, but I want to thank you guys for subscribing to me and being interested in what I've got to offer. But anyway, let's move on. Thank you all very much. I just made this. Took me about 20 minutes to make it, and it's just old tread aluminum and scraps, and it's not the squarest thing in the world. But I made me a name plate. Give you all different angles just in case the glare is on it. But I thought that turned out pretty okay. You just got to trim a little bit off here, but if it's going to be laying in the carpet there, you'd never notice it. I thought that was just something worth showing off. Hooting my own horn. But anyway, here's what we got on the agenda today. This here is a brand new tail light for the trailer. Wouldn't you agree? Well, now I'm lying. This tail light was the original tail light on the trailer I'm building, and it used to look like this. You look at all that dirt. Nasty, cobwebs, green, mold, mildew, you name it. Inside of them they have spider webs and stuff like that from where they've gone in these holes. And I turned it into this. And I just wanted to go over how to do that. So, or how I do it to get it that way. And it really doesn't take that much effort to do. So the first thing we do is we take it apart. Enjoy the music. So now that we've got that done, taking it all apart, and I could try taking the lens out, but there's a good chance that I could break it, so I don't want to push my luck, and it really isn't necessary for me to have to take it out because I can clean it the way it is. I got enough room over here to work. I got enough room over here to work, so it's not really hindering anything except for the fact that I'm not getting down in the tiny cracks. That would probably bother me the most. But I don't trust this thing to not break on me, so I would rather leave it in there and get it the best I can do and be done with it. So, we pulled all of our lights. Well, I lied. I haven't pulled it yet, but man, that thing was in there. Alright, so now we've got everything laid out. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the wire back exactly the way it was when it came from the factory. And we cut them off, and we want to try to keep them as even as possible so that they're both exactly the same length. Alright, you can throw them away. Alright, then you come in here about, I don't know, 9/16 maybe. And we're going to strip that just like that. That's exactly the way you would get it from the factory. They would come, that one went a little too far, but I can't push it back on there. But anyway, that's how you would get any stereo wires or light wires or anything like that from the factory when you open it in the box. So we got that taken care of. Now, we're going to take a green Scotch-Brite and we're going to do all over it. And basically all we're doing is just rubbing lightly. You don't want to sand your plastic. You just want to kind of even it out. So you're just lightly touching on it just to get rid of the green mold or stuff like that. See how I've done that? And then we'll do the rest of it. And don't y'all get dizzy from going so fast now, daggone it. I don't want a bunch of people saying, oh, you make me dizzy. You can't be having all that bullshit. You know, these are actually pretty decent lights. So now what we do, find out which one's the dry brush and which one is the oily brush. And it feels pretty much the same, so I guess it doesn't really matter. This is why I use WD-40. WD-40 is the best thing you can use for conditioning plastic. So you just take that, you spray it on the brush, same thing I did with my truck under the hood. Go around, and we forgot a spot here. And then we're going to take, and we're going to put that WD-40 all over it. And cracks, holes, everything. And it don't matter if you touch it, you're going to be polishing it anyway. And you can do it all over it, even the glass. And it don't matter if your brush gets dry because you want it to go on dry anyway. You're just trying to get the luster out of it to where you have to polish it. So there's the outside. Now we're going to take this rag we got here. We're going to take the other end and put it in our hand, and we're just going to polish it. We're going to buff it. Take your dry one to get down in your holes, and it will stick to the bristles and come out of the hole and then eventually start evening out. And it looks like you've never ever had this out of the box. And there you have a nice light, or body anyway. And there's light there now. And then I'll take steel wool, wrap it around there, come out, might want to put your ends on before you do this, because there's a chance that you can pull it off. So there we have restored light fixture. Alright, then we'll clean this up. And the only place that we're going to use the Scotch-Brite is right in this corner. Because even if you do scratch it, it's not noticeable. Now, as you can see, some of that stuff doesn't want to come off. It's really on there. So here's what we're going to do to take care of that. We're going to polish it. And there you have pretty light. Alright. Then we'll do the same thing with this. I'll do it off camera, and then we'll go to the next step. Alright guys, now we get to condition the rubber and clean it up and soften it and make it new again, or like new again. So here's how we do that. Same way. So we got that one done. Looks like a brand new one. Then we're going to go ahead and do these two off camera. And we'll be ready to put this bad boy back together. Alright guys, now we can put it back together. Now this thing's got alignment holes in it on both sides of each nut or screw that these line up in. So you want to utilize those, and sometimes they're a little different. Actually, I got it upside down. You can tell by the impression. You can look at the back of this and see how the impression would be, which would be just a square with a half round hole in it. So you want to look for the one that's got the half round hole. So that means that that goes towards this. And this one imprints a little different because it's got them little squares in each corner and a little tit. If you see, you got them little squares right there in these little holes. You can tell on this how it's got the little square and then the hole. So you know that goes towards this part. So we put that on there. It helps if you put the light bulbs in. I gotta take this thing back apart. Let's try this again. And there you have 2 restored lights, and this one I forgot to polish, so we'll do that right now. do that, you want to push hard enough to get a little warmth in your palm. Once you get a little warmth in your palm, then you know you've got it polished. So there you have 2 tail lights. One left, one right. And probably took me the better part of 2 hours to do it. All the seals are good. We ain't got to worry about it leaking. We got the tag light. So we know this goes on the driver's side. And then we got the passenger side. Now I've got to fix this. And I'm not sure it's fixable. There's a lot of bad spots in it, and I might be able to use this in the job, but even the plug is messed up. So I've got one of these plugs. I think I even have some of this wire, and we're probably going to replace this wire, because I have one of those temporary lights that you use in an emergency situation. But if my trailer is going to have lights on it, then you know I won't need the temporary one. Of course, that temporary one's a nice one. I hate to get rid of it, but I've never actually seen the magnetic part actually hold to anything. Every one I've ever used that had the magnetic base that you put on your back of your car or your trailer or whatever, if you don't have lights, every time you turn around, one will fall off. So they're pretty much useless to me. But I do have the wire, just like this, and it looks like it's brand new. So that's what we're going to use, is that wire, and just use this and cut it up and use it for parts for here and there wherever I need wiring. So that's kind of restocking my green, my yellow, my gray, and the brown. So basically I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm restocking wire and fixing the pair of lights at the same time. So there you have the 2 restored, almost looks brand new. Now with my eye, I can tell you it's not brand new, but most people's eyes, that's brand new. Because in my mind, I have a pair that are brand new in my memory, and I remember it really well. So it's not perfect, but they sure look like they was new. So somebody's going to think I spent a lot of money on these. So that's the goal anyway, to make them think that you're keeping up with the Joneses, right? Anyway, like and subscribe, and you guys have a good one. Later.